6 steps for getting ready for the year of the snake. This is I think we're up to part 5 in the new year videos that I'm putting out. There is so much to unpack as we head into this transformative year of the wood snake. So welcome. My name is Lydia Griffith. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. On this channel, I often read the charts of famous people because I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own astrology. If this sparks interest for you, please subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. I believe this is part 5 in my series of videos, and we have the biggest one coming out next week, which is the Feng Shui Flying Stars of 2025, one of the biggest, most anticipated videos as we head into a new year, so that we can align and get our homes organized for the best results of our year. So regardless of whether your own astrology is favorable or not, it's so important to have the container, the home in which you live, be in alignment with the year's energy. So let's begin looking at how we get ready for a new year. And this is general advice that I think is important whether or not you subscribe to Feng Shui or not. I think having an annual home review is super important. Often we focus mostly on our review, right? The personal, composting the previous year, maybe doing some ritual of burning things that we are releasing from the year before, and journaling and all of those things, maybe doing a tarot reading, maybe getting your new year update, right? And that is something I offer. So if you're interested in a new year update, feel free to check in the description below. I now have just a reading that is not about your full chart. It's just specific to you for your 2025. You can also, until the end of January, I am including in a written chart, which is a little more of an investment, but I think it is so worth it. Plus, you get a free 2025 forecast with month-by-month predictions included in that reading. Plus, you get 30 minutes to sit with me and do a Q&A after you've received your PDF of your chart. So anyway, all those fun things in the link below. So when I look at January, it is one of the most exciting times of the year for me because it really is the reset month. It is the month to really recognize, where am I with me? Where am I in my life? How am I setting those mindful intentions for my year ahead, recognizing what I learned the previous year and how that growth is momentum moving me into the new year. Then I want to look at my home. What has been happening? Whether you work from home or not, the house can really just get funky. So what I have closets of rugs and artwork and all kinds of things. So every January, I rearrange my home according to the feng shui of the year. And so every year the home gets a refresh. This is what I'm sharing with you today. So the full moon in Cancer on January 13th, mark your calendar. This is the day that ends energetically, closes the year of the dragon. That is a huge moment, okay? That for me, like I will tell you, I remember a long time ago, I've been doing this for over 22 years. I remember one year of the dragon, that the full moon that ended that dragon year came with a snowstorm with thunder. And I remember lying in bed as the year was going out with this full moon thinking, wow, listen to the tiger growling in the sky as it's leaving. So there's some really fun stuff, with all of this that is very celebratory. So I'm curious to see how this dragon is going to exit, what events will happen around the 13th of January. And both the 12th, 13th, and 14th, those 3 days are your opportunity to take all of your feng shui cures, your crystals, and set them outside for the full moon cleanse. And I'm going to get into these 6 steps for preparing for the year of the snake in a moment, but I want to just set all of this up for you first. One of the things that in my time of living with this, with Feng Shui and with Bazi Astrology, is it has taught me how to live with the Tao, the yin and the yang, the growth and the resting, the summers and the winters. All of life is in a natural cycle and rhythm of ebb and flow, right? And the idea that we are just supposed to be in a constant masculine yang, go, do, boom, 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 vibrant, vibrant, is completely unrealistic. And it's why so many of us wind up burned out. Nothing in nature is like that. Everything has its time of doing and its time of resting. So that's what you learn, that some years aren't going to be your year, and that's okay, right? Some years, if I did the feng shui of your home and we looked at the flying stars and we realized that most of your main rooms, your bedroom, your entrance are awful, we work with it. Remembering that knowing what your floor plan feng shui is for your home, knowing what your Bazi Chinese astrology is the superpower that allows you to work with it. So there is no bad astrology and there is no bad feng shui, because they are all energies that you can learn to work with, okay? For instance, for me, my astrology forecast for 2025 is awesome. That's great. It's been a while coming. I've had some challenging years the past several years. Some of it is collective, but it's, the part that we can focus on and we can have some measure of control with is our own. So if you know that you're going to have a challenging year, it is a year to back away, simplify life, cut back on expenses, do more self-care, more self-reflection, develop your spiritual life, plan and dream and innovate, so that when the time of growth and flow returns, you are ready to receive that flow by having all the plans lined up to say, here's my green light, let's go. I've got this project that I've been working on all year. Now I've got the energy saying, yes, it's time to manifest. All right, so preparing for a new year is such a big thing. We don't just blindly go running into it, and it does not, I know so many people that don't even celebrate January 31st because it's just the end of a month. December 31st. It's just the end of a month. And January 1st is just the first day of a month if you follow that calendar. I believe the first day of January is actually on the 5th, right? So when you follow a more lunar calendar, a calendar that is more in alignment with nature, which is what we are from, you feel a rhythm within yourself. Just like eating seasonally and locally, you feel the rhythm of the natural world, not only around you, but within you. That integration is so healing and so and it like takes you to your ancestral roots, right? So the first step one, is the declutter. And this is big. And I like to do everything step by step so that you don't get overwhelmed. So one is declutter. This is going every room, every closet, into your attic or your garage or your basement, all those storage areas, and take a really good look at things. If you need a friend for support, bring them in. Use great discernment. Donate everything you can. Really look, is this useful? Is it helpful? When will I ever use this thing again? Clinging to that which does not serve you leads to a life of finding false safety in stuff that is actually detrimental to your well-being. My mother had a phrase, if in doubt, throw it out. I would say that she was definitely the minimalist. And I have a tendency to do that as well. I'll go and look for something and be like, oh, I think I donated that years ago. Rats. Oh, well. But I will say that I'd rather have too little belongings than too much. Absolutely, for sure. So remove things that are worn out, falling apart, not essential, an obstruction, or is blocking flow of a room. You want to make sure that every room you can move easily through. And, all of that being said, as you're looking at your rooms of your home with fresh eyes, fresh perspective, does the room need to be rearranged? Does a room need to be switched with another room for it to be more functional? Be curious about how you can rearrange the flow of energy in your home, recognizing that Feng Shui really is acupuncture for your house. So the second step is, now that we've gone through all of the storage spaces, we've gone room by room, we've identified what is no longer serving us, is not of use, is worn out. Because this is the thing, when you have things that look shabby and falling apart, it is a reflection on your ability to thrive in life. And I'm not saying that we have to look so like glam and luxe and everything looks so expensive. What I'm saying is that everything should look really nice. And again, you don't want things that are worn out. If you want to attract wealth and abundance in your life, you want to look abundant, right? And again, it's not that it has to be one extreme to the other, but look at how you are presenting your home, and always think of, what if the most important person in my life, some really special person, were to come to visit? How would I want them to see my home? So number 2 is, now that we have cleaned, we have decluttered, I should say, we have decluttered and we feel so good. We have gotten rid of bags of stuff. We've taken it all to the Goodwill or maybe a women's shelter, all kinds of wonderful places you can donate your things. Maybe you can put stuff aside for a big spring yard sale. Get creative. Maybe do a big neighborhood yard sale. Number 2 is clean. And this is not getting out the usual, just vacuum, put the vacuum away, we're done. No. This is lifting up the rug to vacuum under the rug. This is vacuuming under the furniture, pulling furniture away from the wall to get all the cobwebs that get in there, all the dead bugs, all that stuff, the dog toys, all of it that goes rolling under this or that. It's cleaning the ceiling fans, Yeah, the blinds, everything and anything. I even take a Swiffer and do the ceiling into the corners and down because there's those little spider webs that get in the corners of a room. So you're literally dusting the ceiling and the walls down to the floor, cleaning the floors, vacuuming, all of it. It is the biggest clean of the year. And if you have the means to hire someone to do it for you, awesome. I personally like having my hands on my house so that I feel that my energy is being put into the cleaning process. It's a relationship. Like I'm polishing you, I am bathing you so that you will bring great good fortune and flow of energy into my life this coming year. Number 3, take it outside. If that works in your scenario, walk outside your property. Are there any trees with big dead limbs that need to be removed? Do I have bushes that have died or need to be trimmed? Do I have any windows that are cracked? Do the windows of the house need to be cleaned? All of these kinds of things. Is there peeling paint? You want to have everything, all the repairs done ahead of the new year. And it's an early new year this year. So we don't have a whole lot of time. So we want to get these things done. Number 4, we've decluttered. Number 1. Number 2, we've cleaned. Number 3, we went outside and checked the exterior of our home. And number 4, we're now going to open all the windows. And usually I will say I do this after the big clean. The big clean for me takes 2 days because I don't want to work 8 hours cleaning my house. I'd rather break it into 2 chunks of 4 hours or whatever. But at the end, I change the filter in my an change the filter on my water system of my house, and I open all the windows, even if it's freezing cold. Just an inch or 2 all around the house, and then do a sage so that the house is completely cleaned and purified in all ways. Number 5 is the moon bath that I was alluding to earlier. So on the full moon of the 13th, it can also be the 12th. You could stretch it to the 14th, though I would really rather it be the 12th or the 13th. The full moon in Cancer of January, we're going to put all of our crystals and all of our stones, all your feng shui cures outside for a full moon bath. The next day, bring them in. If you had a super difficult 2024, leave them out for a second night. Bring them back in. Make sure that before you bring these back in, that your surface around your sink, the sink area, is clean and cleared. I like to put down towels on either side of the sink because, well, all right, get to it. So all the things that were outside for the moon bath, you put into the sink. And this is where I chant a prayer of cleansing and purification. Now, you can have a prayer, a mantra. Maybe it is an intention. I clear this thing, you're holding this thing. I clear this crystal to welcome in the fresh energy coming to me. Whatever it is that speaks to you. But I personally like invoking a prayer of some kind into all of these items. Now, what we're doing is we're putting sea salt over everything. And so usually I'll have several baskets and trays of items. And I've put sea salt over everything. Then I'm going to take them in the water, one by one, to rinse them off, chanting the prayer. Then I set them on the towel to dry. They are not immediately placed because I may or may not be using that cure or that crystal, certainly not in the same place, and it's not time yet to place them. So I'm going to put all of these things aside. Once they're dry, I'm going to ascertain exactly which cures and crystals I'm using for that year. And then I am going to place them the weekend before the 29th of January, right? Which is the weekend of the 24th. That is when I would get all of your cures and all of your feng shui of your home ready. So the picture on the wall behind me is going to be different. A lot of things in my house get shifted around. I love this time of year. It's my favorite. And so that moon bath is really, really special. It's also a time when you realize you have cleared out of your house all of the protections, all of the enhancers that you had placed in 2024. They have now all been lifted and are waiting for that realignment, for all the new things to be put in place. When I'm putting things in place, as I'm going around room by room, set your cures and your crystals with intention of what they're being used for. And then throughout 2025, every time you clean the house, every week or every other week, when you're dusting these items, remind them of their purpose. Number 6, create a vision board. I'm working on mine now. And your vision board is, I like to use magazines, maybe have some girlfriends over, and we sit around cutting out images and words that represent your intention for 2025. And it's a really fun activity. I love doing this. I did it with one of my retreat guests this week, and I probably am going to finish it with the next retreat guest that's coming next weekend. But, what you're looking at is putting in the center of your board the biggest focus of 2025, right? Mine is finding joy in my spiritual life. That is the biggest focus for me this year. And then you're going to put all the words and images around and place it in the southeast where the 1 star will be in 2025, which is our future wealth star. The thing to remember is we do not reuse bagua mirrors or the Chinese coins. Chinese coins, you can cut them and throw the coins into a fountain with wishes. You can use the strands like I do on your Christmas tree, which makes it, I think it looks really pretty. And then the other items we toss, I'm sorry to say. But I would say all of the cures should be placed certainly by Tuesday, January 28th. And once the house is tidy and you've placed all of your cures according to the flying stars for your bagua on your floor plan for your home, we then celebrate the Lunar New Year, January 29th. It's a Wednesday. I'm having my party, my annual big party on the 1st of February, but it is an invitation to eat auspicious oranges and dumplings and treats. I personally love doing this big Asian vegetarian spread. It's like a big potluck with my friends, and I always do a vegetarian sushi tray, which is fun. You can shoot off fireworks or have sparklers or just candles, and then hang red papers on your front door or red lantern lights in your window. It is such a fun time of year. And again, if you have questions about the process, please let me know. I'm hoping these 6 steps are something that you are able to break down easily and do for yourself so that you are aligning for the best year possible. And Gung Hai Fat Choi, friends, we are coming closer and closer to the end of the dragon and the beginning of one of the most transformative years we probably will experience in a long, long time. So until next time, be well.